What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Alliance War video. This is Ardinal7. This is Season 50, War number 5. LVT is match Salty. I have 7 fights this war. I am bringing Gambit, Moleman, and Symbiote Supreme, and I am taking Path 7 in Section 1 and Section 2, Node 38 MODOK, Node 41 Quicksilver, and Node 46 Serpent. Alright, my first fight this war is Mantis on Node 7. That is the first fight on Path 7 in Section 1, and I will be using my Rank 2 Gambit. I never anticipated using Gambit in Alliance War again after the last tactic, but here we are. So, Mantis is really a nothing defender. Really the only thing I have to watch out for is making sure that she does not throw her SP1. So I just want to push her to SP2 in this fight. She can also fail parries, but I'm just not going to try to parry, really. So I'm using a PS1. I've got half suicides on, the bleed suicide, and max recoil. And basically I'm getting her to her SP2 here. I'm going to have her bait it, drop my heavy to get the prowess, and now nuke with the SP2. If that would have crit, it would have absolutely killed her. But all good, we're back to an SP3. Drop this, and the fight is over. Cool little Gambit SP3 animation. Alright, my next fight is Absorbing Man on Node 16, again with Gambit. Same mastery setup, same boost and everything, but this time we're going to be going to the SP3 first. So we're going to build up our prowess from the heavy charge, we're going to drop the heavy, and we're going to SP3. Absorbing Man isn't really a big deal on this node either. He's armor broken if you knock him down, which he is immune to, which means it's just going to feed him some charges, but no big deal. Other than that, we're going to try to ignore his forms. We'll try to knock him down, you know, following a special here now that I'm at my SP3, but we're going to ignore the regen from him transferring between his forms because I'm just going to absolutely kill him here with this SP3. It's with max recoil and 10 prowess, it just does massive damage. Alright, into Section 2. First fight here is Prowler on Node 25. I will be using Moleman. Of all my fights this war, this was the one I was most concerned about. I'm still relatively new to Prowler, and Moleman is not a perfect counter for him by any means. There's a lot of weird things in this fight. So, well, first of all, Prowler's bleed immune, so Moleman is not going to get a lot of damage from the bleeds there. The other thing about Prowler is that you cannot punish his special attacks or you get faltered. And if he also falters you on his second medium. So I don't want to do the counter punch heavy here with Moleman like I typically would to build mass to nuke with an SP2, because if he dashes in medium and then follows it with another medium, I'll get faltered and my heavy will miss. So I kind of swapped my game plan as this fight was going on. Initially, I was going to try to SP2, but I'm just not really getting any mass to be in Frenzy, so I just let myself build to SP3. I know that I'm going to have a window of Frenzy following this with guaranteed crits that'll actually do some damage to him. Alternatively, I could turn Suicides off and spam SP1 here. That would give me mass and also keep him knocked down for to remove the protection on this node. But I think SP3 with the Suicides works well too. So I'm not going to get him down here in this first Frenzy window, and you see me actually try to punish a special there and get faltered, which eats up a lot of my Frenzy time here. But with protection and everything, I wasn't going to kill him there, so I'm just going to have to build to another SP3 and have one more kind of cycle of damage there. I do, with the Striker, able to get a heavy in to knock him down to remove protection for a little while, and then I'll just throw my SP3 next time the protection's up. But definitely kind of an awkward fight for Moleman. I needed Moleman for some minis later on, but Prowler is an interesting defender. He's got some pretty unique things like the inability to punish his specials. I also found his heavy awkward to heavy punish with Moleman. Moleman's reach is not very good with his heavy. I think with a lot of other champs you could certainly heavy punish to get knockdowns here, but I wasn't finding it as a safe way to engage this fight. Prowler's SP1 is relatively easy to full dex and bait, so I'm trying not to push him to SP2. His SP2 is full dexable as well, but the SP1 is just much easier, so we'll stick with that. Alright, after a very, very long fight with Moleman there, we swap back to Gambit, which means I'm back to Mutant Power Boost. This matchup is Chee'ilth on node 34, the second fight on Path 7 in Section 2. And here with Gambit, the plan is to SP2 nuke. One interesting interaction between Chee'ilth and Gambit is that Gambit can still get bleeds applied to him, even though he has this flak jacket, which usually stops bleeds. So I guess Chee'ilth can do that to a lot of champions, which is interesting. But other than that, we are just going to try to bait her SP1s and build up to our SP2, find a time when we can heavy and nuke. So she's going to be cleansing a lot in this fight, which means she's going to be unblockable, which you see. I'm just hitting block a lot just to try to maintain space, and so I'm not getting cornered here. But we are almost to our SP2, so we're almost ready to nuke. Thankfully, she is not unblockable here. I can just take that into block, get my heavy, and now we just need to... I was going to try to special intercept there, but it just didn't work out. We take a few hits, no big deal. The SP2 does great damage, and the SP3 will finish. Not a perfect fight, but happy to get through it. Alright, next we have MODOK on node 38, and we're swapping back to Moleman for the next two fights, so back to skill boosts again. Moleman is an incredible MODOK counter, especially in this tactic. The plan here is to hit him a few times to get my clarity before I engage my frenzy, because I want to make sure that he doesn't auto block or evade. So I'm just using some counter punches here to get some easy combos in. I've got my first clarity, so I'm going to get some heavies. He is debuff immune after the knockdown, so we are going to need to use the counter punch to find some openings when he is debuff immune. So I thought I'd dex that, but I had an invuln, so all good. So we get the knockdown, we've got some monster mass. We are going to eat a heavy here, so definitely not playing perfect here, but we finally get into frenzy. We get the SP2 off. Nice big crits. Back to another SP2 again. I was hoping he was going to counterpunch there, but all good. I'll just knock him down with a heavy, and now we're at SP3. So I should have been able to get another SP2 off there for the kill, just extending this fight out. Not playing perfectly, but like I said, Moleman's just a great counter for MODOK. Well, one more combo, and this fight's done. Alright, next up is Quicksilver on node 41. This will be another Moleman fight. This node does have SP2 preference, or whatever that node is called. So if we can bait an SP1, great, but we just have to anticipate that he will be going to SP2. But it's kind of same plan as MODOK here. We want to make sure we get our clarity before we get into frenzy here. So I am able to parry. He does get the evade, and I do not have clarity, so need to get a couple more hits in. I've got a ton of whiplash on me now because I went into frenzy just a little bit too early. But all good, we'll just get right into the SP2 nuke cycle. We've got my clarity, and one more SP2 should do it. Nice and easy. Alright, my seventh and final fight this war is the Serpent on node 46, and I will be using Symbiote Supreme. So I swap masteries to get MD back and turn off suicides. I took this fight in the last war, and it was an Ascended rank 5 that was Max Sig. This is an Unawakened rank 3, so a little bit bigger health pool, but he doesn't have that death immunity phase at the end. So really this is a much easier fight. The same strategy again, we want to get to our SP3 before he gets his first bar of power. So here it is, we throw the SP3, and now we just need to keep him in cycle. We can eat SP3s at this point. Ideally, he's actually not throwing any other special but an SP3 here. And if we can get some SP2s in between to power drain, to apply some bleeds and armor breaks, get some good damage in. So there's the SP2. It takes us right back to another SP3. And we are officially in cycle at this point. We get to watch a lot of SP3 animation when fighting Serpent. But back out again, I'm back to SP2. Unfortunately, he throws his. We'll just take this into block, get a combo in. I've got Relic as well, so I'm just going to extend this out. One more combo, throw the SP3, keep him in cycle. And as long as I am in my cycle, I've got the blue blessing, the second blessing up. You know, I've got the damage protection, so if he throws an SP3, I take like 8% of my health or something. Very, very minimal. So really in no danger as long as I am pushing him to SP3. We get another SP2 off, and back to SP3 again, see if I can combo him. Again, he's not going to have that death immunity, so once we do enough damage to take him to 0%, the fight's over. The Serpent is a little bit easier without the defensive tactic, and especially when he's unduped. That is the end of war number 5 for me. Unfortunately, LVT does lose this war. We are 4-1 on the season now. I am still on a deathless streak. This brings me to 28-0 on the season so far, and we will catch you next time for War 6.